The more I was hoarding the money, the more I was broke.
How broke was broke?
Broke to the extent that I couldn't afford a bag of sachet water that was like 150 naira at that time. See, the moment you begin to treat money as money is alpha and omega, you won't have it. Now, this is the kind of person I used to be. I used to believe that, when you have money, you have to like keep it. You don't know if you spend it, it's going to finish, that kind of thing. So you hoard it. But guess what? The more I was hoarding the money, the more I was broke. Then I began to realize that money does not want to be hoarded, right? Open your arms. If you spend money today, money is going to come back. So it's that mindset, abundance mindset. So I used to have a scarcity mindset. Oh my God. People are like, oh, I'm a motivational speaker. What's my mind? It's mindset, yes. Because if you believe that if you spend money, it's not going to come back, it's not going to come back to you. But if you believe that if you spend, you're going to have more, you're going to have more. People who make the money are not even the technical guys.
Okay.
There are people who actually understand the business of the skill. And because at the end of the day, it's not just to have a skill. Can you profit from that skill? Life always swallows the timid. Many times you're going to have people who will not really buy into your idea as the expert, and that's fine. So if you cannot work with that, just let them go. Yakubu, manage.
Honestly.
To feel like you want to die, but you will not die. Manage.
Honestly, because
Right.
sometimes you see someone driving your net worth as a car.
Do you get? Someone be spray your networking party.
You go to club, someone pops your net worth as a wine.
Do you get? So it just really it just tell you that, bro, you've not made it. Relax, calm down. It will just push you. It will push you to become a better person.
Hello, everyone. We are excited to have you once again in today's episode of the podcast. And within the next couple of minutes, we are going to have a strategic mind shift of how you see money, your behaviors with money, how to align yourself with who you are and also build wealth with that. All right. And this is True Not Podcast, where we make such alignments so that your money journey can find meaning and usefulness in every aspect of your life. And today we have a very wonderful guest, very young, very talented, and very beautiful, with brain and with the enthusiast and the pursuits. So a go-getter and a go-giver at the same time. All right. So we have here, she is the founder of the Aviv Technology, and they build an awesome solution for businesses. All right. So whatever you need to integrate tech within your business, she's your go-to person. And the surprising thing about the Aviv Technology is that they also have an Aviv Academy that have trained over 3,000 individuals just in a couple of years, about 2 years or so. And they've raised people, they've raised voices, they've raised talents, proving the fact that you can actually build what by raising others.
Yeah.
All right. So we have with us Miss Lewis.
Hi.
It's nice having you on today's show. And it's a real opportunity to have people like you who have done a couple of things at quite a very young age and doing great things actually in their industry. And I know how difficult that could be in the tech space, seeing young people who are not just building something for themselves, but also helping other people build things for themselves. So if I may ask, I don't know, what inspired your journey in that direction, and when did this journey start?
If I'm being honest, I think it was Sakwa that inspired my journey. It was
Okay.
Sakwa. I think Sakwa is such a huge motivator for me. I'm not going to sit here to tell you that I started whatever I'm doing right now because I was super, super passionate. Of course, I had passion, but it was not entirely passion.
Okay.
Right. So I grew up in a family where middle class family at that time. I don't think there's middle class right now. So I grew up in a family where my both parents are education people. My dad is a professor, my mom is a principal. So I was exposed to education really early as a child. I grew up reading books. I saw my dad read. I saw my dad lecture people as a lecturer and all of that.
Oh,
And I wanted to be a lecturer, funny enough.
wow.
But then I went to school and I did not finish with the first class. For me, not finishing in the first class was like failure because I wanted to like finish with the first class
To
because
impress your dad.
exactly to impress my dad, my parents, like everybody was rooting for me. And because finishing in the first class in my school, I finished from University of Ibadan, meant I was going to be doing a free master's degree. So I was going for that free master's degree.
Okay.
But guess what? I finished with a 2-1, and that was the beginning of, should I say failure for me at that point? That's what I
Okay.
thought.
Okay.
And so I said to myself, if I didn't finish with the first class, no free masters, how do I become a lecturer? Okay, I've failed in education. Maybe let me try something else. But thankfully, I did a course in school that was called education technology. Oh, I didn't tell you what I
Okay.
studied. I studied health education.
Okay.
I did a course that was titled education technology. And in that course, I think throughout my stay in school, most of the things I did in school was la cram la po. You're just giving your lecturers back, and
Yeah.
but that course was really exciting for me because I didn't have to cram. It was logical, so I had to like really use my brain, and it came to me really easy. Right, it was easy for me. Other people struggled, but I had an A without any stress. So I was like, okay, this course is somehow related to tech, and if I did well in this thing in school, maybe I should just try this tech thing. And so I spoke to a friend. I was like, I want to learn how to build websites. Teach me. If I learn now, how much can I make? That was the goal. It was not learning because,
Because
like,
you actually
how
want
much
to.
can I
Yeah.
make?
Yeah.
Because I don't, because I studied in school, it doesn't really have economical value in Nigeria, right? Maybe outside of Nigeria, but not in Nigeria. So I was honest with myself.
Yeah.
I didn't finish the first class. I'll either become a teacher, any 50K salary. What's that going to do for me?
Okay.
So the next way was tech. So that was how I just got into tech. So it was not because I was super passionate. It was because I wanted to like take myself out of where I was coming from, like have a better life for myself and the people coming after me. So yeah.
Okay. Do you think that justifies the point people make about pain? That pain actually it's something good for people to experience. Like there are people that will tell you that they shield people from having this pain. Once they feel this pain about life, they withdraw. It distorts their plan. So for you, how are you able to maximize that pain to channel you to the good source of what we are saying now?
Okay, so I think pain is important, right? I think we should not run away from pain. For me, not finishing in the first class was very painful, and I didn't want to waste that pain. I wanted to channel it to something else, and I wanted to prove a point to myself that I could be good at something. If education did not work, I finished with the two. It's not like I finished with the third class or something. I beg go.
Okay.
But I wanted to just prove to myself that if I didn't do well in school, because my own not doing well was not a first class. So if I didn't do well in school, maybe I can channel this energy into tech, and that was it. So I think you can use pain for your advantage, or to your advantage rather. And I feel like a number of persons need to know that you need to understand that if you fail at something, doesn't mean you cannot do something else with your life. You just have to find a way to ensure that whatever that failure you failed, or what's the English now, that failure that happened to you, don't waste it. Right? Ensure that you just channel it into something that's going to be very useful for you as a person. So
But then in today's Nigeria, in today's world,
yeah.
there are things that when people do, we justify it for them because of the circumstances they saw themselves in, the conditions they found themselves in. So when you say Satan motivated you into the business, we are there are other options that probably clicked or came to mind in that space of time when you felt you were really broke.
Okay, so no, and that's because of the family I grew up in. So it wasn't exactly that. It's not as if my parents were not providing for me. Oh, come on, I was just still in school, but I just had this drive on my inside that okay, I'm going to finish school. Will I still be asking my parents for money? So I was just like trying to think ahead. So I don't think any other option came to my mind. Before then, I actually worked with a logistics firm because I've always been the person that wanted to just, I've always been an independent person right from time, right?
Okay.
So even before I got into tech, even before the whole SACPA thing happened, I had worked with somebody before, but I was not really satisfied there. So I had to like pivot into something else. So I didn't really think of something else because number one, I grew up in a very conservative family, so there are certain things I cannot even cross my mind, right? So it had to be like you must do things the right way. So I don't think any other way crossed my mind at that time.
Okay. So how did you get started with this tech journey
Okay.
of having it as something you do beyond you into helping other people?
Okay. So for me, I think that I know I said that when I started tech, it was not because I was passionate. I wanted to make money, but along the way, passion came. And then I told myself that if I can do this for myself, I should be able to do it for other people. I wanted people to be able to create their own economies, even though I don't believe in that right now, because I feel like we should not be creating our own economies as people, the government, everybody should be hand in hand doing that, not just an individual. But at that time, I had that philosophy. So I wanted people to be able to create their own economies and bring people into it. And they cannot do that if they are still suffering. They can't do that if they don't have finances or resources to do that. So I was like, you know what? How about I have a skill? I've been able to profit from this skill. How do I ensure that people also can profit from that skill as well? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to teach people. And I remember even before I started to like make some small wave in my industry or my career at that time, I struggled to get my first job. And I was like, God, if you can give me my first job and just help me, I'm going to ensure that people who learn under me don't have to struggle to get their first job.
Wow.
And I've been able to do this consistently since 2022, helping people get their first job, just placing them here and there. So it was because it was beyond me. I wanted people to see that life is possible. I'm not from a rich home. I say this every time, but my parents are okay. We're content, right? So I wanted people to also know that it doesn't matter where you're coming from, you can still rewrite the story of your life with your skills and your talent. So yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been in this space of tech? No,
It's going to be 6 years in October.
October.
Yes.
That's from 2021
2020 till 2026. Yeah.
to 2020 to 2026. Okay.
Yeah.
So in these 6 years, what do you think was your lowest down points in this pursuit?
I would say when I was about to get started, and even after I started. So when I was about to get started, I spoke to a couple of my friends. I said, I want to start a business. I was serving then. I just moved to Abuja. You know how Abuja can be.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody. Honestly speaking, I just moved.
Just the usual vibe of I want to serve in Abuja.
Do you get? I just knew I was going to serve in Abuja. But I didn't. Okay, I had my elder brother at that time who was still in the country before he left the country. So he was the only one I knew that was based in Abuja at that time. But I just sort of like knew that I was meant to be in Abuja for my NYSC service. So I was going to start my business 2021 after I'd won a particular NYC grant in camp, NYC Camp Kubwa. And I was so pumped. Oh my God, NYC believed in me. They think that this idea is worth 100K. At that time, it was just an idea. Nothing was done. Just a business plan. And NYC was like, you know what? I think this is worth 100K. So it meant a lot to me at that time. So I was excited. I spoke to my friends. I said, I want to start a business. 3 of my friends. I was very strategic about the friends I was going to be speaking with because I wanted to leverage on their strengths.
Okay.
Right. So we can come together to do something. So I spoke to one that I think at that time she was so good with marketing, sales, and I didn't know anything about sales and marketing at that time.
Okay.
I spoke to her. I said, I want to start a business and I really want you to come and do sales and marketing for us. I like the way you do sales. I think you'll be very good. It will help us, get clients. And she's like, no, I don't believe in this idea. She told me that, yes.
Really?
Yes, she did. And I cried. It was really painful for me. It was really painful, but I moved on. I spoke to another friend that I think was also good with things like that. She said, yeah, sure, we can do it. The other person, sure, we can do it. So I had 2 people tell me yes, and then one person told me no.
And which was the first person you ever spoke to?
Yes, about
Told
it.
you no?
Yes, she told
Wow.
me no. Yes. But I moved on because even me as a person, I don't believe in everybody, and that's fine. Sometimes we're not deciding to see people the way we should see them. So if somebody says they don't believe in you, it's okay. Because we don't even believe in everybody. So just move on. Did anybody believe in you? Yes. Do you believe in yourself? Yes. Then get started. So that was how I started, right? But her telling me no was like a low point for me. But I told myself, I'm not going to sulk. I'm not going to be crying. I'm not going to feel bad or be angry at her or anything. I'm going to go ahead to start the whole thing. And of course I started. And even when I started, getting clients in Abuja was hard. Nobody knew me. Nobody. Right? It was hard. People already had people who were already doing similar things. And some persons were like, oh, you want to go into an industry that's saturated? I was like, I know I'm supposed to do this. But anyways, I kept at it, trying to speak to people, leverage on my environment, my church, my network, my friends' network as well. And that's how we got our first our clients from there. And even when we got our clients, it was also still very hard trying to still get more people to buy into the whole idea of what we're doing or what we're going to offer them. But I think one thing that I did then was apply for opportunities that gave me the opportunity to learn from people who have been in business way longer than I have been. So I was able to learn from people, get to know, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do to get clients. This is what you need to do to retain them, because it's one thing getting a client and another thing retaining
them, yeah.
Exactly. So I had to learn all of those things. And I would say that made the challenges really easy to go past. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Outside the challenges you had, when it comes to the financial part of the journey, what would you also say was the lowest point for you?
Hmm. So really, when I even started, then I didn't have money. I was a core member. I need
Okay.
33K.
Okay.
I didn't have any money, but no, I think I would. My parents are very supportive. My
Okay.
mom, my dad. I remember when I was going to register the business, I didn't have the money. 50K then, I didn't have it.
Okay.
And then I spoke to my mom and my dad, and they sent me the money. So I think that in the finance part, I had people I could run to. I could
Okay.
speak to my parents, I could speak to my siblings. I need help. And then they were very supportive too. And they were trying to like link me up with people that would give me job opportunities. Then also one of the things I did was apply for grant opportunities because I knew
Okay.
that, oh, I know where I'm coming from. I don't have exactly a lot of resources, but
Okay.
I think I have some level of result that I think people can take a bet on me when they see the result that I have. So I
Okay.
applied for grant opportunities, and thankfully I won one at that time. It was about 2 million naira by Mrs. Folorunsho Lakija. That was like
Okay.
a big deal for me,
Yeah.
and I think that grant really did a lot for my business. And
Okay.
I'm always grateful to Mrs. Folorunsho Lakija for that
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. So I think what I did was I didn't just say, "Oh, I don't have resources, I don't have money." I was like, "Okay, I have a skill, I have a business. How can I make people see that I actually have something and they can give me
Yeah.
money for that thing?" So I applied for opportunities and I got most of them. Yeah.
Okay. So, there is something they call the burden of leadership or the burden of entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
Okay. Had there been times when you felt like this wasn't what it's, let's give it up?
Yes, honestly speaking. So yes, entrepreneurship is hard. And I know everybody wants to be an entrepreneur right now. It's very glamorous. I CEO, I founder, it's sweet, but it's a lot of work. And for me, when I started, it was difficult because, like I said, my background, I don't think I saw anybody do business. Maybe my mom, at some point, she had like a store. She was selling things, going to Onitsha to go and buy things to sell. At least my mom, maybe I would say my mom. But I didn't really, people around me were not really business people. So I did not really have that business background like that. So it was difficult, right? It was difficult for me at some point. But I think that what kept me going was the fact that, okay, like I mentioned earlier, I want to be able
Okay.
to help people. So that was like something that actually kept me going.
Talking about that, it was in the sense of being broke that ignited the business idea you had. And despite talking to a friend who told you that this business wouldn't work. But then someone might be asking, since you already said your parents are supportive, this and that. So I want to know how broke was broke. Can you give a concept? Can you give a picture of how broke you were then at the moment?
Broke to the extent that I couldn't afford a bag of sachet water that was like 150 naira at that time.
Okay.
I was a core member. I was not staying with my parents, right? So I moved to Abuja. So
Okay.
like I wasn't with my parents. So that was how broke I was. That a bag of water I couldn't afford it. 150 naira. So that's how broke I was.
Okay. So navigating from that, how did it translate to the big vision and the big dream we are seeing today?
Okay,
Lead
so
us through the process.
I would say that I understood the business of the skill that I had because I already had a business at that time. I was the only one in my business. So I was the only one doing everything, reaching out to clients. But at the same time, I didn't even understand the business of the skill. There's a difference between having a skill and understanding the business of the skill. So what I did not understand was the business of the skill. And that's why I couldn't afford to buy a bag of water at that time.
Okay.
Because the truth is, you can have a skill and not know how to profit from that skill because you don't understand how the
Yeah.
skill works in the marketplace. So
Exactly.
that's why I was at that point in my life. So I think one of the things I did was calm down, understand the business of my skill, understand how to position myself, how to sell. Now, I'm a tech person and I can tell you for free, many tech people don't know how to sell. And it's not really their fault because you get to like work with the computer every day. You're just a nerd.
Yeah.
You're just building stuff. You don't even know how to communicate with people.
Yeah.
But guess what? If you really want to make the most of that skill that you have to learn how to sell, how to market, how to position yourself. And that's something I had to do. I know tech people say things like, "Oh, I'm an introvert. I don't like to talk to people." I'll say this: nobody was born an introvert. Nobody was born an extrovert. Those are just labels.
Mm.
We are a product of our environment. If you grew up in a family where everybody was very lively, you will be a lively person.
Yeah.
If you grew up in a conservative home like I did, maybe like where I grew up, the home I grew up in rather a gated compound. We don't really get to interact with people. Home, church, school, that was it. So naturally I would say I'm an introvert. But I refuse to believe I'm an introvert because of how I grew up. If I grew up in a family where everybody was bubbly, everyone was lively, I'll probably be very extroverted, right? So I would say that there is no introvert or extrovert. It's just labels that we've given to ourselves. So you have to take yourself from that place and realize the fact that if you do not do that, you are going to stay stuck. So first of all, you have to understand, like I mentioned, the business of your skill. And it's not just even just to tech people. I think for anything that you are doing in life, business of the skill, because people who make the money are not even the technical guys.
Okay.
There are people who actually understand the business of the skill. And I'll tell you why I said that. In fact, there's a time I used to work for a tech firm in Abuja here, and I used to see how our sales guy, we closed 10 million naira deals plus 5 million naira, like figures. And me, I was like, okay, we're going to do the work. But I never went home with 500K like salary.
Yeah.
Never. But I was doing the work.
Yeah.
So I realized that people that make the money are not people that are writing the code or this thing. No. There are people that are actually talking to these people, getting the deals. I was like, okay, you know what? How do I get the deals? And that's where I actually learned how to sell, market, all of those things. Because at the end of the day, it's not just to have a skill. Can you profit from that skill? Yeah.
Yeah, part of the things you're saying now, it's actually something I can relate based on a personal life story. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Because I studied information technology, okay, and management. So it's had this combination of the IT skill and the business skill.
Yeah.
Management skill, IT skill,
Yeah.
a couple of other things. So it came to a point, I was so much vested in the writing of codes, then PHP was the running thing.
Oh.
When you navigate with Laravel and Strap and the rest of that. So the PHP was the main thing. Everybody learned it, the HTML, and I was writing these codes, I was doing these things, and then to a point, like you said, the body wasn't coming in because you know how to write the codes.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, it seems this management part of the stuff would actually work more for me than the IT part.
Yes.
So I went ahead, I registered businesses and, called a couple of friends I know that were good in coding. I say, let's work.
Yeah.
So I bring the deal. Tell me what your charge is for developing this.
Exactly.
Okay? I go back. I do the negotiation with people who need it.
Yeah.
Pay them what they said is their charge.
Yeah.
And believe me, then, because we just came out from school, their charge was not as big as whatever thing it could be. I remember we landed a deal then with, I don't want to mention the organization anyway, but it was a national organization that wanted to write a CBT app for an exam.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. And they wanted to model a particular exam syllabus.
Okay.
So when we came to a meeting with them, they called figures. And the truth is that it was more than 18 months I left coding, tech whatsoever. But I could understand the languages, I could understand the garbages and the stuff you need to say to get the job.
Yes.
To your
Gives you an
table.
edge.
So after they discussed the price and the rest of that, they said, do you think you can get this done? I didn't just tell them. I told them, don't worry, in 2 months it will be done. Like when I wasn't sure what the integrities of the frameworks would be.
Yeah.
So I called a couple of friends. Tell me what your charge is. Let's do this. One of them pulled out and said, they don't, one thing with developers is that they're shakara too much.
Yeah.
And they're always claiming they don't have time. They're always claiming that they are underpaid or whatever. So the first person who agreed to do that work, we paid him in full.
Oh.
And he didn't deliver.
He didn't deliver.
He made away with the money.
Whoa.
That was for the first time I felt pain in my life. Because these guys are
That's
already
crazy.
banking that the results of the development will be out. And then I'm not sure we had up to 3 weeks left in the 2 months I gave them.
Whoa, that's crazy.
So we found someone else, and this person came up with something. Okay, still full payments, came up with something which wasn't close to what we asked. Okay, and further negotiation entered. He'll be paid more. It was more than he expected. And so I already know that it's not something he could deliver. When I saw the lines of code, because I could at least edit codes, I can debug things. And
Yeah.
when I saw the lines of code he wrote, I told myself, this person can deliver this work. But then made some adjustments in what he did and deployed it to the organization. And to the greatest surprise I've ever had in my life, let me use the word surprise. Let me not say embarrassment.
Like,
Let me not say embarrassment. Was the students we already gathered to use the CBT.
yeah.
And they were seated. I and my friend who were doing this, we already know that this thing will not.
It's not work. Wow. Oh my god.
But we just sat down there and, waiting for the drama to unfold. So everybody was seated. The IP was already distributed to the system so that they can actually write for their individual systems. And the exam started. The first person was able to log in, started. Second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person.
Oh.
We know that the highest that system can take is 10 persons because of the capacity of our own laptops, which we are using as a server. All of a sudden, noise started coming up. This person logs in, it looks at the other person in the midst of it. So these random stuff started happening, and we are just there. We didn't know what to do. All of a sudden, the students there erupted into shouts, and there was just chaos in the hall. And we just met the person who contracted us for the work and said, don't worry, we'll take care of this. We underestimated the timing needed for this. Just give us 2 more weeks. And we'll get this done at no additional cost. So, but then the embarrassment has been there. And then other parts of the association who were also supposed to use that same CBT in their test centers heard about what happened. Some of them pulled out. We lost gigs. And
whoa, that's crazy.
so after some time, we found someone else who we believed could do the work. And, that part where they say we are like men that dreamt when the whole thing worked. So he did his stuff, and the same error of maybe just one person can write. But then I discovered it was just a line of code, a counter code that the increment of the code was not actually able to take mana. So change that to infinite and the whole thing started working. But one thing that thing taught me so well is, like you said, knowing the business of the skill. So I was tired of the coding, staying, and then I almost developed eye problem then.
Of course.
Because the long hours you stay on the system, trying to code, trying to write, I thought to myself, I know fits.
Yeah.
And in 4 years now, I'm not sure I have written a line of code.
Wow.
For more than 5 years now. But whatever job it is that have to be done, there were people that would do it.
Yes.
So I go out, I bring the job. But then I also want to ask you a question. People would always say something. Okay. I had to go study that. I don't know if that was also what motivated your own journey.
Okay.
When people say there is the skill of the business, and there is also the business of that skill, and also the business of teaching that skill. So which do you think pays more, the business of the skill or the business of teaching the skill?
So I would say the business of the skill. I know people will say people that are teaching their skills, they don't have clients, they're trying to make money off you, but that's not my case. I still have my client, I still reach out to people, I still do my business. So for me, if I'm being honest, I would say the business of the skill makes you more money if you really, really know what you are doing.
Okay.
Because how many courses can you sell?
Okay.
Honestly,
Okay.
that's what I think. So I would prefer to push more energy or pour my energy into understanding the business of my skill, seeing that I can land more high ticket people and all of those things, right? Than trying to focus on trying to sell my resources just so people can learn how to do the same thing that I'm doing. Do you understand?
Okay.
So I would say the business of the skill if you properly understand it. But most people don't, so they just think the easy way. Let me just try to sell something. Let me tell people how to, or let me teach people and then sell, which is, I do that as well. But I'm just saying personally for me, what has worked more for me is understanding the business of my skill itself, not just selling my skill.
Okay. But some other people might have a contrary opinion on this. Okay. I think the ever first time I saw the coaching tickets, I think it made me far much more than I have ever charged a single client when it comes to the business of the skill.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. And sometimes just that there's a particular business sect now that have actually spoiled the whole thing. And that is should I say this? Forex traders, don't worry. Feel free, come for me, no problem.
They get a lot of backlash.
Okay. So it comes to a point where the business of the coaching
Makes more money.
makes more money.
Hmm.
Okay,
For that industry.
for that industry.
I think it's just for Forex. But you know the
Mm,
funny thing, I actually know people who actually make so much money from actually doing Forex than even training people. But I think that it's because a lot of people, how do I put it now? Those people have been in the game longer than the average person who just got into Forex. I think people who are very big on just training people, they just started not recent, not too long. So they're trying to like make back their money. So okay, how can I make back my money? Okay, let me to start training people.
true.
Right. So, but I think that there are people who are in Forex too that actually make more money trading than even selling their courses. But very, very few.
Very,
Very, very,
very
few.
few, very
Very
few.
few. They're only selling one course or the other.
Okay.
Which is not bad actually.
Yeah.
I feel like it's still yours. It's still yourself, like it's still your skill. I mean, you still learn something. You're also still giving back, but at
Yeah.
least with a fee. So
So, had there been a point where you felt like you weren't doing enough in this line of work you are in now?
yes, I still feel that till today. Push myself like, oh my god, yes, yes. There are times, I mean, I feel this, and for me, I think it's a good feeling for me because I don't want to get to a point where I'm relaxed, like, oh, because I've not made it in life. Yes, I've not.
Of course.
I've not. There's a lot to. There's a lot to
But for
do.
someone else who've made it in life, let's not try to argue that. But let's
That's their own cup of tea. But for me, I've
let's
not made it in
continue.
life, and I know when I know what I'm saying. Like, oh my god. So I like to always remind myself that, Omo, there's still a lot of things you can do. You need to push yourself. And the kind of friends that I have, oh my god. If you're not serious to your life, you by force you'll be serious. I mean, when you see the things they are doing, not like you're comparing yourself with
Yeah,
them.
no, of course I
Because
understand.
we play in different industries, but the fact that the way they carry their calling, their purpose, everything they are doing with so much passion, you too, you'll be passionate to also. You too, self, you want to also do the same thing as regards your own calling. So I would say that there are times that I feel like that. I feel that almost every day. And I think for me it's a good feeling because it keeps me in check. That, you know what, I need to push. There's more, there is more, there's more. That's the kind of person that I am.
Okay. So you also mentioned that what you considered failure then was not graduating with first class.
Yeah.
Okay. But that was in the line of education. So in this line of business, are there points where you felt like you failed? Maybe with a business transaction, with something, with the way you presented a business or a deal or a proposal that didn't go through. Like, do you think you've experienced failure at any point within the space of 4 or 5 years?
Yes, I have. And I think it was in 2023 or so. So I had a client then, very I don't want to mention who the person is, right? And the person reached out to me. I was like, oh, wow, I was really honored, right? And then worked on a project for the person, and the person did not like the project. And I was not happy, right? It made me feel bad because for me, I'm very big on customer retention. The cost of acquiring a customer is high. So
Yeah.
when you have one, try to retain, right?
yeah.
Find a way to everybody should be happy. But it didn't work out, and I felt really bad because that person had the potential to bring in more opportunities for the business, and I knew that because we had already started talking about other opportunities when we're done with what we're doing.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out, and that's because the person wanted something else, and me as the expert, I felt like it's not good. This doesn't make so much sense. Let's do it this way. So I went ahead to do what I thought was best. Right. But what that experience taught me was the fact that many times you're going to have people who will not really buy into your idea as the expert, and that's fine. So if you cannot work with that, just let them go. So that made me feel like a failure losing that particular person. They actually paid. They didn't owe me anything, but I felt bad because I felt like maybe I could have walked away or could have found a way around it that the person would have still been a client today. So yeah.
Okay. So for our audience watching, I also want to put in this little breach anyway to not interrupt your flow of discussion, but then I also want to give you a free gift knowing that you've listened to us to this extent. Okay. But the reason why we usually don't want to put this gift at the beginning of the podcast, it's so that people don't just lay hold on it and then go their way. But for you who have stayed with us to this point, it's actually a reward system we put out there to say thank you. So we have this book we've written. It was specifically written for you, having you in mind. Okay, if you go on Amazon, you would have to pay for this book. If you go on Spotify, you also have to subscribe for premium to get this book. But then, because you are here and you're listening to us, It's a book we are going to give you for free at no cost. Okay. It's called Fail Rich, Fail Rich, Fail Rich. Okay. 7 money mistakes you should make at least once in your lifetime. What other people are telling you mistakes to avoid? One are telling you mistakes to make. The failures you should embrace at least once in your lifetime. It makes you wiser, it makes you more knowledgeable, it makes you better in your entrepreneurial journey and your journey in life. Okay, so if you can head on to favoremeli.com/podcasts, that'll be the first thing you will see there. Just click on send my gifts and it will be sent directly to your email as a thank you package for having stayed with us to this point. So let's go back to our guests, Louis. We've talked about what you consider to be a point of failure. Okay. What do you think should be, okay, what do you think has been or was the biggest reward you've had running this business? Both in terms of revenue and other things you can quantify with.
Funny thing, I'll not even start with revenue. And that's because that's a list of things, right? I'm very big on impact. And I'm not saying this because everybody's big on impact, but really, I think for me, it's seeing people who never thought that they could make certain amount of money, make that amount of money. I think it was last 2 years, we raised about 4 millionaires Naira, in Naira, not dollars, Naira, right, in my community. And these are young guys, 19, 18, 21, 22. I was like, wow, this is possible. So I'll say for me, I think my biggest reward is seeing people really create their own economies and bring people into it. Sometimes I read some feedback from my students. I'm just like, bro, like, this is just so good, so fulfilling. Like, I always say that the success of a program is not the fact that people actually bought your program, but that they actually got results from taking your program, not the money you're making as the creator or anything. That's like what I've come to live by. And seeing people really take my programs and have results, that makes me really happy. And I think some years ago, I know a young woman who came to me then. She was in debt. She was like, she's in so much debt that she knows. I think that time she knows how she was good in sales and marketing basically, but she needed like a skill. So I was like, you know what, just get this program, and she got it, and now she's doing so well for herself. She has her own agency working with clients in Canada, US, Great Africa, other some other countries that in Africa as well. Canada is not in Africa, please. Like other African countries apart from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right. And it just gives me so much joy seeing that somebody who was at a point in her life where she did not know how else to navigate that point came to my program, and then she got clarity, and now she's doing it for herself. So I'll say for me, it's not even revenue. It's going to be the people that have impacted. Like, I really, really hold them dear to my heart. The fact that nobody has ever gone online to call me a scammer. Nobody has told me I need a refund. For me, that's a big deal. Like, I'm very big on my name. Like, my name is the most important thing to my life.
Imagine doing business for 6 consecutive years and there's no police case, no dragging.
No dragging. Nobody has dragged me. Nobody has said, Lois scam me. Lois is a scam. Don't go to, like, nobody. Like, because my name is very precious to me. I may not have all the millions in this world, but my name is please let my name be intact, right? So I'm very big on integrity and all of that. So I think for me it would be seeing that people actually get results from just taking my program, or my clients are excited, oh, the website is doing this for us, thank you very much, all of those things. So yeah, I think that would be the biggest.
Added to that, we can't just completely rule out the place of revenue too as part of reward, because that is what businesses do. Businesses stay in business not just because they make impact, but because the impact translates to revenue.
Yeah, that's
Would you also
true.
want to give us a highlight of probably what the revenue has been over the period of time?
So I would say that, well, the revenue has been great. We thank God. And I think that
No, part of the things I think
it
is
has
that
been it has been great because I eventually got a team, right? So maybe this is like a business lesson. So if you really want to, like, maybe scale your business faster, I know some persons get very attached to their businesses. They don't want to hire a team, right? Or I want to do everything so I can get 100% of the money. But it doesn't really work that way. So for me, I would say that one thing that's actually boosted our revenue, a couple of figures here and there, is the fact that I was able to, like, get a team and have people that I've been able to work with. So yeah, so revenue wise, I don't want to disclose, but it's been awesome.
No.
Thank God.
Part of the reason why we might want to encourage people who are watching us, okay, because
So my helper, so my helper, this guy has made it no.
okay, because probably you can even say something now. I might discover that you also need to be my helper.
No. I mean, I'm looking for helper. Yeah, my helper. I have a lot of things I want to do this year. I need to be able to raise funds for it. So
Okay, so we'll spare you the stress of letting us know what the revenue is. But then, for you to have been in business for 4 good years means that, like they always say, that the bloodline of every business is cash flow.
cash
So it means that
flow.
the cash has been flowing, and it has been flowing in more than it has been flowing out.
I would say that yeah, there have been cash flow, but there have been also days that there was no cash flow. Yes, and that's where everything boils down to you taking on you as a founder or CEO, being honest with yourself. So there's a point in my life where I was very obsessed with, oh, I'm a founder, but there was actually nothing coming into the business because I love the idea of being a founder, but then I forgot I think it was Mark Cuban. What's this guy's name? Is it Mark Cuban or something?
Yeah.
This billionaire in the US that said that if your business is not making sales, if your business is bleeding, it's most likely sales. And so a lot of founders get carried away with the title CEO.
Yeah.
You are posting on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn, by the way. All of those things. You are showing up, but then there's no money in the account. It was happening to me. I think for the first 2 years of my business, I think I said it a few days ago, and I was having. I said there was a lot of struggle, and that's because I was not even accountable at that time, and I wasn't taking the business seriously. I was not. I was relying on people just talking about my business, maybe referrals. I was not going out there to like reach out to people. So I would say of course, there's cash flow, but it was not like there's always cash flow. There are months that not so much. Other months like okay, well, and then I'm like, okay, what do we do the previous month that we had so much money and now we don't have so much? How can we go back to drawing board? So I would say that it's not like this cash flow. No, I'm not going to sit here to tell you that. I'll be honest with
Okay.
you, right?
Okay.
There have been months that the cash flow was not cash flowing, if there's a word like that. But
Yeah.
like, you know what? I have to like rid myself of this whole founder title and really get to work. And I think when I got to work, like this month has been amazing.
Okay.
This one has been amazing. How do I word now? I feel so happy being a founder and a CEO right now because I've been able to go out, reach out to people, close deals, like amazing deals for my business. Everybody's working, my team is up and running, and it wasn't like this in December because I was just laid back. And the funny thing about business, if you're laid back as a founder, everybody else most likely will be laid back.
Yeah.
Your team is going to mirror your energy. Your team will mirror your energy. So when I got that, I was like, okay, what can I do? I went back to drawing board 1st of January when everybody was gyrating. I was on my laptop trying to figure out lead generation strategies. How are we going to get leads? Are we going to wait for people to come? Are we going to go meet them? So, and I'm seeing the result right now. It's been amazing. Like, I've just been overwhelmed. I've been pitching myself, talking about my business. One would think that you wouldn't even know that I'm actually owner of my business. I don't really care like that. My own is let cash flow be flowing and people, my team members get something to do. You get, so that's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay. So also thinking about the business process, the business flow. Okay. What structure do you think probably you've been able to put in place to help the business? Like, what was different from what you were doing the previous time and what you started doing of recent that's made the whole of the difference?
So I wasn't taking sales seriously. So there's a tendency for you to think that you know how to sell because you sold so well before you don't need to refine your strategies. That's one thing I didn't take note of. So I was like, oh, I know how to close, deals. But I realized that I was having several objections and it was mostly price and I wasn't getting it. So I said, okay, I'm going to settle down. I'm going to learn how to sell again. So I got books. I was watching videos, Grant Cardone, how to be a high ticket closer, Dan Locke, Alexa Moses. I was just soaking in those people and I was reaching out to people, pitching myself here and there. And guess what? That's how things got better. Another thing that I did was I decided to like create an environment in my business where my team members had the opportunity to actually speak. Now,
Okay.
I'm saying this because where I used to work before, somewhere in Abuja, a tech firm, my boss was the Alpha and Omega.
Okay.
He did not have a say. Like when it comes into when he enters the office, everybody's like, boss is here, boss is here. So we're not free to express, okay, boss, we don't think this idea makes sense. Not like we tell him like that, but sir, I think we can do it this way. So I didn't even know that subconsciously I've become my boss.
Okay.
Sadly, honestly. So I realized that my team members were not really giving me feedback. So I was like, okay, what do you think? Do you think we should do this? What is the way? Okay, what can we do? And so when I had to like have that environment in my business, things changed because they felt, my team members felt like, oh, they were part of something interesting, like the vision you get. So because I was able to make the environment conducive for something like that, I could take on their feedback, use it, and then use it to close. So that was one thing that I did, ensuring that my team members could feel like they were part of the vision because they are.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then going back to drawing book, not assuming that, oh, I know how to sell, I know how to close. No, but really learning from people who actually know how to. And thankfully, I have friends that are very good closers. Oh my God. My friend recently did something recently. I think he was, I think she was selling something. And I think in 38 minutes, she did, I don't know how many millions she did. I was like, bro. Like I was so inspired. So those are the kind of people you want to have around you. So I think having very inspiring friends to, learning from them to really help me go back to the drawing board and fix my strategies, those loopholes, and thankfully things are way better now than they were in December. Yeah.
Okay, so back to the NYC days.
Okay.
If you are to speak to, there is this hype online that the moment you come to Abuja, your life changes.
They play. They play. If you don't work hard, nothing will change. I'm serious. So like, especially if you don't have leverage. You're not from a rich show, you don't have leverage, no social capital. You think you just enter Abuja, except you want to go the other route. You know the other route. You might.
I'm not
you
sure.
might.
Okay, don't mind.
The other route.
Yeah.
You might make it there, but if you really want to like do the normal legal thing, oh my God, you have to work hard. It's not like Abuja will just change your life automatically. People think, I posted something and someone was like, oh, I want to move to Abuja. So I was like, okay, no problem. You can move to Abuja too. But you're ready to do the work. It's not easy. Abuja is, oh my God, Abuja is not as easy as people think it is. I think even Lagos has more opportunities. Or there are opportunities in Abuja, but they are very, if you don't know somebody that knows someone, if you're not,
if you're not connected within a social network,
you cannot get those opportunities, and they are there, but you can't get them. So I wouldn't say that if you move to Abuja, your life will change. I'm not saying don't move, or you can move, but don't just think that as you're stepping into Abuja, that's how your life is. No, you're going to work hard.
Yeah, even the other route too, you would also work hard there too.
Funny enough, you still have, honestly speaking, you still have to work hard work.
So because there are these bulls that, especially among no shade anyway, so maybe I will take back the word, but among NYs, I don't want to use any gender. So the bulls about trying to serve in Abuja, and I think it was a few days ago I was talking to someone. The person said that there is no state allowance in Abuja, just like you enjoy in other states.
Yeah, there is no.
And I'm wondering, what is the
say?
boost about coming to Abuja to serve? Why? Okay. So what do you have for people like that? Whether the other lane, right lane, either way. So
right lane, no, because I don't know the other route, people will be fine. But I would say that if you want to come to Abuja to serve, Abuja is going to give you, how do I put it now? Like a playing field, like a playing field rather. So I would say that be honest with yourself. If you are coming to Abuja and you're from a rich home, you have leverage, you have great social capital. The way you are going to move in Abuja will be different from somebody who doesn't have any of those things. For me, I didn't have social capital, I didn't have leverage. I'm not from a rich home, but I knew that if I was going to come to the city and I was going to like make it or try to like start life or make it, I cannot move like somebody that has leverage. Now you have to banish I'm shy from your dictionary. You have to banish who will listen to me, what do I have to offer? You just have to put yourself out there. I think one thing I did in camp that helped me when I was in camp, and even after I left camp, gave me access to a lot of opportunities, was not being shy. When I was going to move to Abuja, my mentor at that time spoke to me. He said, Lois, life always swallows the timid. That's what he told me. And I ran with that word. Because the truth is, if I had when I got to NYC camp, normally I could be a quiet person sometimes. But that camp, I was not quiet though. I did spoken words competition and talent hunt. I did spoken words. I got to semi-finals. I almost won. Some persons knew me as spoken word. There was a time I used to do spoken words in Abuja. Like I would go to churches to go and do spoken. They will give me honorary room. I'll be like, okay, today's pay is good. Next church, next concert. Like I was almost. I don't hustle. I don't hustle for this life. You get. So I was doing all of those things, and guess what? It came because somebody saw me in camp. Oh my God, I saw you in camp. Can you come to our church to come and minister? Or can you come to this concert to come and perform? Okay, will you pay my transport? Are you going to give me money afterwards? Okay, we go run and things like that. But imagine if I was shy. And then I did business plan competition. I put myself out there in camp because me, I had the mindset, I was like, I'm going to Abuja. Maybe I'll find somebody that their parents is rich. They'll connect me. At that time, I was even thinking federal government job.
Okay.
I'm serious. That was my mindset.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I never planned I was going to be an entrepreneur, do a business. I was like, let me get government job. I'm fine with government job.
Okay.
But then when I left camp, started my business, like, oh no, this is beyond government job. So I would say that if you want to move to Abuja, they come and buy. It's great. It's great. It's a good place to start life. And Abuja will push you. Abuja will tell you that you've not made it in this life, that you need to work hard. I'm serious. It's the time I wanted to move to Ibadan because I was just tired of Abuja. Because like what was going on, everything was slow. My friend was like, Chloe, you want to go to Ibadan so that you'll be feeling like a big woman there? I was like, at least. But guess what? Some of the opportunities that I've gotten now, if I was not in Abuja, I wouldn't have gotten those opportunities.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking. So this city will push you, but Yakubu, manage.
Honestly.
To feel like you want to die, but you will not die.
Honestly, because
right?
sometimes you see someone driving your net worth as a car.
Do you get? Someone be spray your networking party.
You go to club, someone pops your net worth as a wine.
Do you get? So it just really it just tell you that, bro, you've not made it. Relax, calm down. It will just push you. Yeah. It will push you to become a better person. Like if you want to go the legal route, which I think you should go, like as a person, as a young person. So if you need to come, you feel like Abuja is where you need to be in, just come. Everything's going to work out.
So
just fine.
the ideology that you can sleep poor in Abuja and wake up rich, that people have. Do you think it happens?
I don't think it happens, right? Because of course I believe in God. I'm Christian. I believe in the favor of God. All of those things. But guess what? Even for favor to even work for you, there has to be like, even for you to have your own Kairos moment that something happened, it means that before that Kairos moment, you were doing things that eventually now stacked up and then boom, favor happened.
Yeah.
So the idea of you sleeping poor and waking up rich in Abuja doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Let nobody deceive you. You have to work hard.
The Lulu.
And work smart. Exactly. You have to work hard and work smart. So, and I think one thing about Abuja is your connections to your social network. Very important. One thing I'm learning to do this year is go out, meet people. Don't just stay in your corner. Meet people, talk about what you do. Because to be honest, even with the small meeting people I've done so far, I've seen results in my life. So I would say that when you eventually move to Abuja, don't just stay in your room. Network with people, talk about what you do. Be that person that wants to offer value to people. Most times when you meet people, they want to like try to take from you. Nobody wants to like give value. Not nobody. Most people don't want to give value, but try to be that person that wants to give out value to somebody. And trust me, everything's gonna work out for you.
Yeah. So what would you say is your best experience here
in Abuja?
Because we are telling people work hard, but then it feels like we've not enjoyed some level of privileges or benefits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the opportunities that you're going to get. So for me, I think my best experiences would be my friends. My friends have helped me, linked me to opportunities. My God, spoken for me in rooms that I not even people that I met in Abuja when I don't know them before until I moved here.
Yeah.
So I would think, that's like one of the blessings that I've experienced. Yeah, my friends.
So at what point also, talking about, because we are hosting a True North podcast here and talking about the whole essence of the podcast where people would have to find themselves or discover what works for them.
Yeah.
So at what point do you think you discovered this True North for yourself? Like your the basic ideology that would work for you for life and probably finding who you are as a person.
Okay. So I would think,
in essence, what was the turning point for you?
Okay. I would think it's even before I moved to Abuja, right? So I sort of knew like the kind of life that I want to live. And one thing that I did was follow through without even changing my personality. Now, if you notice, I create content, but I don't create content like my friends. My friends can shout and say, "This is," but me, I don't. I cannot shout, right? Because I know that this is the part I want to. This is what I'm supposed to do, and this is how I'm supposed to do it. So for me, I think when I got that clarity was okay. I really want to help people in their businesses. I want to help them scale their businesses. I want to give them counsels, advice to help their business. I want to also help people create their own economies. How can I do that? Do I have to shout? No. This is my personality. I'm going to like speak. I'm going to like share, help based on who I am. I'm not going to change to be anybody. I'm going to be Lois because that's who I am. So I think yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So judging from your building with who you are,
Oh my god.
the self-awareness that this is who you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the self-awareness that you don't have to be someone else, you don't have to probably, it wouldn't have to work for you the way it works for your friend, embracing who you are, your personality, your calmness, your quietness, your easygoing lifestyle, and all of that. So when it comes to the word personality or word building personality, okay, people will always believe that, the stereotypes that the quiet people can't do business, the introverts can't do business, and they just have to, they're better being supporters. Okay. But looking at you, I think that law has been defied because being calm, being quiet, you are also building businesses. You're out there online,
Yeah.
posting content, doing your videos in your own natural style, and
Yeah.
still making good conversions
Yeah.
out of those things. I think it's an evidence that people can actually build with who they are, not thinking of being someone else to do better. So when it comes to your relationship with money, would you say you have a healthy relationship with money? Maybe when based on personal, not now away from business now. Okay, your personal dealings with money. Okay, you spend, how well do you like? Tell us.
So I would say my relationship with money is getting better. I used to have a terrible relationship with money, and that's because I really did not grow up in a house where I saw my parents talk about money.
Okay.
Never. We didn't have money conversations, and I think that's like most people. That's like typical African home. Things are changing now, but I didn't see my parents talk about money, and I think it affected me as a person. So yeah. Now this is the kind of person I used to be. I used to believe that when you have money, you have to like keep it. You don't know if you spend it, it's going to finish, that kind of thing. So you hoard it. But guess what? The more I was hoarding the money, the more I was broke. Then I began to realize that money doesn't love to be money does not want to be hoarded, right? Open your arms. If you spend money today, money is going to come back. So it's that mindset, abundance mindset. So I used to have a scarcity mindset. Oh my god. And I think I wouldn't say I have 100% abundance mindset right now, but I think it's better than it was before. Now I don't fear if I spend money. I'm not scared. Oh, where money come from? Oh my god, this is the last money. Like money's gonna come. Like it's gonna come. That's right now. So I was not like that before, and like because of my upbringing and the family I grew up in. But I would say right now it's better now, and the friends that I have too, they really influence my money mindset. My God,
Yeah.
they've made me see that money is a list of things. See, the moment you begin to treat money as money is alpha and omega, you won't have it. Honestly speaking, I'm being honest. If you begin to see money as alpha and omega, this is like you won't have it. But if you see money as a tool to be able to better your life and better the lives of others, you will have it. So for me, I feel like that was the shift I needed to have, and thankfully I'm having that shift, and things are more better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But there are times when people feel that that money needs to be spent, and there are times when people feel money needs to be invested. There are times when there are certain people who feel, like you said, being so anxious about money, irrespective of how much they have, believing that if not well spent, it would finish. Looking at these categories of people, where do you think you're best fitted?
Okay, so I believe that you should spend money. I also believe that you should invest money. So both ways, right? So I feel like spend, also invest. But don't get to a point where once money enters your account, the only thing you care about is let me just go and invest. it's good. I do investment too. Come on, my friend talks about investment. I'm in a program. I do all of that, but I will never go to a point where I will not spend money on myself. I used to be like that before. I struggled, but I was like, you know what? I think something happened. Somebody died. I think when one footballer died one time, one Liverpool footballer died, and somebody else again died. People were just dying. I was like, bro, like I'm going to die one day. Oh. That day I took myself out. I'm serious. I took myself out. I went to go and eat. Now I have a routine now. Every month I take myself out to go and eat. Eat something I've not eaten before. Like that's it. Because we can get so like it's so good with money that we're always saving, we're always investing. It's good invest. Come on, do that. That's a smart way to live. But at least still spend money on yourself. Eat well, dress well. Life is meant to be enjoyed.
Of course.
So that's what I was saying.
Yeah, of course. Because sometimes we've all been in that same trap. Okay, either we're overspending without investing, or we're over-investing without having time to spend, or probably we are even doing more for people
than for ourselves.
Without doing for ourselves.
Yeah.
But part of the resolutions I made this year is that 100% of the investments I'll make this year is on myself.
Wow.
No launching a new business, no matter how sweet the idea would be. No, nothing. Just if it's not beneficial for me, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that probably I'll have to go to market and spend all the money on buying clothes and the rest of that. But I told myself that what is about courses, is about building, is about reading, is about this year I want to be selfish with myself. So no going out to even maybe accepting maybe speaking engagement or whatever. I want to be. Let me invest these things in myself. Let me learn, let me unlearn, let me resharpen myself and all of that. So I think it's also a part of investment people should also do, because sometimes we lose ourselves in the process of trying to help people.
True.
Or in the process of trying to run after money.
Yeah.
Or in the process of trying to multiply the money.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think, like you said, okay, once in a while, go out, spend the money.
Yeah.
It's not the time that Yakubu will manage you.
Do you get? Spend the money. The money will come back. Like, I feel like people just have this fear that if I spend money, it will not come back. I used to be like that before. And guess what? If you think if I spend money, money will not come back, the money will not come back. Everything is just mindset. My friend taught me that everything is mindset. Right? I know people are like, oh, I'm a motivational speaker. What's one of my? It's mindset, yes. Because if you believe that if you spend money, it's not going to come back, it's not going to come back to you. But if you believe that if you spend, you're going to have more, you're going to have more. So I really agree with you on the fact that people need to like invest in themselves more.
Okay. So is there something we would need to know about Lois that would help the audience navigate their lives better? Probably something you think has been a strength that worked for you over the years in your relationship with money or in business as well. Okay, so what do you think could be that one thing that, if taken away from you, Lois will no longer be Lois?
I already have one top of my head. God. And not because I want to sound spiritual or spooky, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I should be able to sound spiritual. But I think it will be God, because sometimes I look at my life. I know I say things like, oh, I know I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied. But sometimes I pause. I was like, oh, the things that I've done so far, based on where I'm coming from, I will be a liar to sit here to tell you that it was because I know how to do strategy. I know how to do sales and marketing. I know how to teach people. I will be lying. Because there are people who know how to do all of this, and they come to me, I'm like, how are you sometimes I can't even explain. Sometimes when I try to teach some people things, I'm like, how do I even explain? Some things I cannot even explain. Because the truth is, I cannot take away the God factor from my life. I cannot. It's going to be very hard. Even me moving to Abuja, everything, the way it happened, I did not have to pay anybody to move to Abuja.
Wow.
I don't know anybody in NYC too. So it's not like maybe somebody was trying to help me influence anything. No, like the way it happened, like, so I cannot sit to tell you that, okay, everything that I've been able to do so far in me moving to Abuja and building my business, it was because I'm very smart, or my head is working well, my brain is sharp. No, I would say it's God. God has been very good to me. I've really experienced speed in my life. Experienced the favor of God, ways that I know I did not even imagine. The grant that I won in 2022 by Miss Folonsha Alakija, my business self was was not up to a year at that time, and one of the requirements was one up to a year. But then I had some track record. I'd already done some few millions here and there, and so that was So that also was also the favor of God, because normally I shouldn't have qualified for that opportunity, but somehow God had to like find a way to make it work for me. So I would say God, honestly, I would say God, because you can have all of the strategies, all the whole idea, you can have everything you think you have and still not be able to get the result you want. So there's always going to be a God factor. I know some persons don't believe, but my own experience, there's always a God factor for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to deny it. I will
And
not deny it.
I understand that, but then that can actually be argued by someone because let me paint this scenario. There are people who have done everything right. Okay,
And still nothing's working.
they pray, they fast, they understand social marketing, they are in the right business.
Yes.
But that right business, when your friends are making so much money from this same business, and you're in the same business, but it's not clicking for you, it's not working for you. Okay, you drop strategies. Your friends even use the strategies. It works for them. It didn't work for you. Same business,
like that.
same environment, same customer segment, same God,
I know we are going to.
and still it didn't work.
I know we are going to.
So what can you say about that?
Like my pastor would say, you can do everything right and still have a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
You can do everything right and still not have a good life. It's the irony of life, and it's sad. It's a sad place to be, a sad reality. But that's life, funny enough.
Okay.
So I would say that what you just said now actually keeps me in check as a person, because I know that there are people who are doing everything and nothing is working. I think if you're in that place as a person, I'm thinking of what to tell that person right now. I would say that don't give up. I know that's another motivational talk. Don't give up. But I'll also say that if you are a believer, if you believe in God, talk to God about it. Right now, something happened to me this morning. I think I was struggling with something this morning, and when I woke up, prayed and all of that, I was like, God, this is exactly I need help on. And then I got help. Now, for somebody, it may not be as that fast.
Yeah.
I'm not God's favorite child. I believe everybody's God's favorite child. I don't believe there's one, God loves me the most.
Yeah.
God's for me. I don't believe in those things, right? I believe God loves us all, right? But I would just say that it's a falling world. That's life. I probably don't have answers to it for this, but I would say that it has made me to be able to like see people differently. So I would not before I used to say, sometimes I would say things like, why are you doing this thing? Why are you doing this bad thing? Can't you use your brain? Can't you work? Can't you whatever? But now life is not white and black. I've come to realize that some people have actually tried to use their brain. It don't work. And because I'm using my brain and it's working, does not mean that I will not be saying something. They are less of. I will not judge anybody. You and your God, right? Do what works for you, right? At the end of the day, you still answer to God. I'm not going to be the judge. God is going to be the judge. But at the same time, just extend grace to people. So I would say for that person, just don't give up on life.
Okay.
Just try.
Yeah. Yeah, but then do you think there is there is this popular quote where they say that him whom the gods has broken their kernels will think others are lazy.
That's not bad.
Okay.
It's not true.
But then on the other hand, so do you think there is a level of alignment people needs to make in their life? For example, I usually share a story every now and then. Okay. I've been in that shoe where I did everything right. Like every single thing you could think of. Then we had a platform that after that event, we are building a platform then, and that platform, we started seeing traffic come to the platform. That was the early days of blogging and the rest of that. And to a point, we were doing all the right things.
Yeah.
The SEO strategies were matched. We had workers. We were writing articles. Whatever thing you can think of. But then the money was not coming in. Okay. And it could be frustrating. In fact, I remember one time like that, I was
very frustrating.
walking down the streets, and I saw these keke guys. I started calculating their income. I was like,
you have to go into the keke
a whole CEO, keke man is making more money than you.
Wow.
It was that bad. Okay. And at the end of the month, you still roll out money from another probably business and stuff like that and pay the workers. Okay. But you're doing everything right. Until one day I decided that okay, I was in church and then I was in media.
Okay.
So I was in charge of whatever scripture, whether it was quoted or not quoted, I look for it and project it for people to see.
Yeah.
And then the preacher that day actually made a statement. That was, I think, Ecclesiastes 10:15, where he said that the labor of the foolish wearieth them because they don't know the way to the city. I was like, so the foolish are also laboring.
Yeah, in the wrong direction.
Okay. But then they don't know the way to the city.
Yeah.
So I asked myself, who knows the way to the city? That was when it dawned on me that I was surrounded by friends who are doing this same thing and making a lot of money. So I called one of them on phone and said, guy, have fun now. I want to come see you. He said, we can talk over the phone. I said, we've been talking over the phone and nothing has changed.
That was smart.
That's, we need to see. And I'm paying for your time. Every single time we spend. Let me know your official charge and the rest of that. He said it hasn't gotten to that. He said it has gotten to that. So I went to ATM. I withdrew almost everything I had in my left with just the transport money. In fact, on going to that trip, I even lost my phone.
Wow.
But he didn't. I just came out from the bus. I called the number. Someone picked. The person said, I'm so place. On your way back, you can come and pick your phone. I said, I didn't bother. So I went to his office. The first thing I did was I dropped the envelope. I said, he was surprised. He said, guy, they treat me like Savio. I said, guy, I passed the way you be now and I see the way I come so. And the fact is that we've been in touch for more than 5 years, 6 years. Okay. And we sat down and in 2 minutes, whatever thing it was corrected. And we've been speaking, we've been talking, we've been sharing ideas. So I started wondering, what's changed? What was this shift about? It was just those days in blogging where you have to, just like now in YouTube, for example, now someone can go to YouTube, you changed your audience probably from Nigeria to US or stuff like that. That was it used to be like that in blogging from your Google search console.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing he did, just by toggling a button that tells Google that this is a US blog. That was all.
Wow.
And approximately 2 years of struggles of zero income.
Knowledge is powerful.
Disappeared. So sometimes when people say, I have done all I know, I have done all, I do everything right. I don't think they've done everything right.
Yeah.
They've done all they know to do right. If a missing puzzle is put in place, everything will come back to shape.
Yeah.
But then there are also times when everything is right as well, like you said. Okay, everything is okay. There are times when just all you need is patience. Because if you plant a mango tree today, even if you want to get River Niger and put on that mango, it won't give it overnight growth.
It won't.
In fact, it would even damage the plant.
Yes, too much water.
So just that place of compounding effect, compounding interest, where the effort of today, effort of tomorrow, effort of next tomorrow, and when it happens, people will think, no be this guy where gets 1,000 followers yesterday, 500 followers. How come 300,000 followers in the space of 2 days? And they will think it's a miracle that it was a post here and there, but a compounding nature, because there are people who have seen, okay, their first post actually might make so much wave, and then you go to their profile to see other posts. You're not seeing anything.
Yeah.
You just leave.
That happens to me too.
But there are people that when probably their post goes viral, then you go to their profile to check.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You started seeing that these guys, since 3 years old, they've been making content, and the content are mad content.
Yeah.
So you start seeing people liking posts of 3 years ago,
Yeah.
2 years ago, getting tractions of, or probably something happens in the ecosystem or something started trending. They go back to dig your post of 2 years ago as a meme, and it goes viral.
Yeah.
But the point is, where you did those things, you are telling yourself nothing is working.
Yeah.
So, like you said, I think for such people, I would also encourage them to keep working. Meanwhile, make sure that all there is to do has been done.
Yes.
And then relax, be patient, keep at it, and
yeah,
with time, things. Every one of us has been there. Okay, because even for you, I think you made a statement that those times when you couldn't get a sachet water and the rest of that, I believe you are not just crossing your leg and feeling like everything will be fine. You were still going out, like you said,
Yeah, so pushing
submitting
myself.
proposal, pitching yourself, and the rest of that.
Yes, still doing that. Yeah.
And probably someone will see you with one new achievement unlocked, and they will feel like you like saying,
Spread out of this Abuja.
"You
It's
like say
just
Abuja miracle don't happen for this girl."
oh my god.
So back to the tech journey. When from the time you said you started your tech journey, as of then, there were no much ladies who were venturing into tech. What built your belief system to know that a woman can actually do well in tech against the whole stereotype that tech is for men?
Okay, so at that time, actually, I was in a community of people. Funny enough, there were actually a lot of ladies that actually didn't take at that time. So
Okay.
I sort of like was in a community of people where ladies were also doing tech. So I didn't really have that mindset of women should not do tech. But I know it's a general thing, right? Well, for me, I felt like this was like my strength. I was going to play to my strength. I did not care if the word was saying a woman cannot do this, a woman cannot do that. I just wanted to play to my strength. So it was not just the stereotype of a woman cannot do. And even now, Seth, today, there are a lot of opportunities for women in tech. I think the world is trying to like encourage more women to get into tech.
Mm-hmm.
Even as far back as 2020, I think, yeah, I just feel like you may hear that stereotype if your environment or if your circle are not informed. So they just assume that, okay, yeah, woman, don't do tech, go and do hairdressing, go and do this. Hairdressing is nice. I'm not trying to talk down. I mean, hairdresser did this,
Yeah.
right? But I'm just saying that for me, I didn't really get that because of the environment that I was in.
Okay. Okay. So are there particular skill sets when it comes to tech you think women will do better in?
Yeah, I think women do better in design.
Okay.
And I said it because I I've trained people, right? And people who do so well, okay, there are still guys, there's still a few ladies too. I noticed that the designs that ladies do, they are well detailed. They pay attention to details, right? So I would say that for maybe product design, product management, I think product management, to be honest, I think women will do better. And that's because we are more detailed. We probably will see things that maybe a guy will not see because he's trying to like do so many things at the same time. We know how to do so many things at the same time and still
Get
ensure that
everything right.
everything still works well. So I would say product management, I would say product design, I would say software testing. I will also say graphic design to all of those things. Anything design. And not to say women cannot do well in writing codes. They can actually. I've seen women that are so good. So I just feel like a woman can do anything, but I'm saying those design part because it's easy for a woman to pay attention to details, and those things it will require a lot of details. So yeah.
Okay, so against the conventional belief that once you're in tech, you write code, do you think that needs to be debugged at the moment?
Yes. Now I mentioned that my students that were able to raise 4 million 2 years ago, and those guys don't write code. So you know the funny thing, some developers will see this now, they'll be angry. I was scrolling through TikTok, and I was like, oh, people actually have beef for people that actually make money and don't write code. Like you think that everything has to be very hard before you make money. That's a mindset that needs to change.
Yeah.
It needs to change, right? So I would say that you don't need to know how to write code before you can do tech. And the fact that you do not write code does not mean you are less techy. Yes, I would say it doesn't make you less techy.
Yeah.
People like to segregate. Me, I don't care about those things. Oh, most people that are saying, "Oh, I'm a developer, I'm this and that," they're not earning as much as people that don't even write code, and yet they're still beefy. So if you to calm down and ask them, "How are you doing it? Okay, what can I integrate to ensure that I also make this money too?" So I don't think so. You're in tech because you are solving a solution. Whether you're solving a problem rather. Whether you're writing code or not, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you're helping people solve their problem, and you should get paid for it. So yeah.
Okay. So in concluding this part now, and every other thing we've actually talked about. So I want to ask you some series of questions,
Okay.
more like a yes or no question, okay, but not yes or no.
Okay.
So if I might ask, if you're given a chance to make more impact and a chance to make more money, more impact or more money?
Impact always bring money, so more impact.
Okay.
Yes.
So more impact or more network?
More impact or more network.
I know you made mention of building a network. Okay. So
Yeah.
more impact or more network?
If I have more network, I'll be able to build more impact. So more network.
Okay, more network.
Yeah.
So more network or more skills?
More network. Nah.
More network.
Yeah.
Okay. So more network or more how do I put it? More visibility that comes from a network or more power that comes from a network? So in essence, more visibility or more power?
More visibility.
Okay. So more visibility or more money?
More visibility. When there's more visibility, there'll be more
Okay.
money.
Okay. So if your entire financial journey becomes popular tomorrow, what will you be most proud of?
The fact that I've been able to help people.
Okay. So in that sense, we are concluding with the fact that more impact is much better than more money.
That's because if you make more impact, you obviously make more money. Honestly speaking.
Okay, so the end goal is the end goal is also money too.
Of course, money. Like, I like money, and money
Okay.
likes me.
Okay. So it's all gears to what we're trying to say, okay? And we believe in more impact. We believe in more network, okay? Because with more network, you make more impact.
Of course.
And also, more impact would also expose you to more network.
Yes.
And truth be told, I've actually observed a couple of things you do, and we've enjoyed from afar. You know, I was speaking with one of your friends, okay? And when I discussed with her, I think, how did I even get to meet her? I think it was one of her live sessions also. You know, I was scrolling through IG and she was on live, and
Oh, wow.
I, bumped into the ice. I bumped into the live session. The first was, you'll be like, when someone requests for a session in your life, you'll be like, who is this interrupting your live session? So I did that again, and it was more like, who is this lady? So not who is this lady per se, like who is this lady? I know I sat down and early this year, like I said, I told myself that, okay, sorry, late last year, that was November, that was when I made that decision, that this 2026 is an investment I want to make on myself.
Yeah.
I want to build more networks. So I went on IG and picked a couple of people. Okay. And I so much watched their videos, their content, that's the only thing I see on my FYP now.
Wow.
Yeah, I trained my FYP for that. So whenever I go on IG, I can tell you the first post I will see and whose post that will be. So that was how I reorganized my FYP on IG. So it worked. So one day I opened it, she was on live and bumped in. We had a good time on the live. So after that, we started having conversations. And so when we finally met, I said something that I don't know how other people discover you and the rest of it. For me, I make conscious effort on the people I want to discover.
Yeah.
I don't fall into people by accident.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. So likewise, same thing with you. It might be surprising. So when she made a recommendation about you, I wasn't surprised.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because with her, I was also able to see a couple of people in same like minds.
Yeah.
Okay. I observed the things you guys did, the impact, the couple of things. So even when you said the impact over more money, I know that aligns truly with who you are.
Yeah.
Because we've observed that, we've seen the records of the things you do. All right. We've seen the results of the things you do. When you said you've trained 3,000 persons, I wasn't surprised because I went through, I took some of these things and it was as it is. So when I tell you some things about you, probably I found from online, you might be so surprised that
Shocked.
someone is stalking you. It's someone stalking you.
Am I safe?
No, actually you're safe. Okay, but we also have a way of saying thank you to people who has made remarkable impact in life, not just in their own life, but in the life of people.
Yeah.
Okay, because honestly speaking, it's not easy to build a community one.
Yeah.
And one that have actually helped people earn skills.
Yeah.
And then transcending into one that have actually helped people maximize or profit from their skills.
Yeah.
You don't find it anywhere. and most especially coming from a lady. I'm not saying it's rare, so the other ladies will not come for me, but children is rare. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a way of appreciating people who we believe have done remarkably well. And that not to tell them that they've done well, of course they've done well, but to tell them that we still believe in what tomorrow holds so that we can serve as a force that encourage them in that process to do more and be more. So it's a package we have that we always give. So we'll give you the privilege of unboxing this, and it's a gift from us to you. Okay, as a mark of excellence, as a mark of impact to tell you that we love the things you do. And we're also grateful for having you on our podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Such a honor. It was such an honor to be here. I had a great time. Thank you.
It's
I'm supposed to
fine.
unbox it now when I get home.
You can unbox, it's fine.
Okay. Oh, oh my God, it's so pretty. Oh wow, this is so pretty. Can you help me with this? Thank you. Oh, wow.
So it's our little way of saying thank you for
Wow,
being here
so
and thank you
beautiful.
for the impact you've done over time.
Thank you so much.
We're
Thank
grateful.
you.
Believe this would be a connecting point for us to do much, much, much more impactful things together. And we believe that time comes when maybe through our podcast with Louis will have to probably do remarkable things together
Yeah.
to create more impact and reach more
That's
people as the
fine.
case may be. So thank you once again for coming around.
Thank you for having me. It was
We are
such
very
a
much
great
grateful.
time. Thank you.
So for our audience, we are very grateful that you've been here all this while. And we've also noticed something that majority of people who watch our podcast from YouTube recommendations and then YouTube search. Meanwhile, there is you who probably the algorithm must have brought this podcast to you. And a life that you live with intentions and so much intentionality is far much better than depending on factors you cannot control. So what am I trying to say? It's better that you subscribe so that consciously when we make a post this time next week, as often as we do, we want you to be a subscriber so you can always get notified for every time we push out a content like this that will help you. So please subscribe and push the notification button so that you can always be aligned to the true north. Thank you very much for being here with us and have a nice time.